Hello and welcome to the Justice for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 13, Unlucky for Some. In this episode, JfG Ash is suffering from a severe case of jet lag. And surely, JfG Alex can't be getting bored of Project Cars. Steam keep pushing and pushing the boundaries of digital media. And finally, we discuss our favourite trophies and achievements. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And if not...
Johnny Red Meat, okay? Do it. Do it.
So, funny story. I saw an article the other day, and it was about actors who basically stopped acting after a flop film.
Okay.
One of them was Sean Connery, and apparently he was going to be Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, and he turned it down because he didn't understand the script and wasn't sure if Tolkien was like a big deal. And then he was up for like a part in The Matrix as well, and he turned that down for the same reason. He was like, yeah, I don't really understand it. And then both those films went on and did like massively well, and so he was like, oh shit, well, I should really just take one of these like stupid scripts. And so he took the next one, and it was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was fucking trash, completely bombed, and he hasn't made a movie since. So there we go. Hello nice. And welcome to the Justice for Gamers podcast. This is episode 13. My name is Alex, and I'm joined by my good friend Ash, who's back from his holiday. Hello Ash, how are you doing?
I am back, and I am better than ever. No.
You sound very relaxed. Or rather, you sounded relaxed when we were talking earlier. I'm not like gauging your whole mood from that very first sentence that you just said.
That would... Yeah, that'd be odd if you did, I must say. But yeah, I am very good. I'm on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. Right, yeah, I'm good. What am I doing?
What are you looking at?
I don't know, nothing. I was going to look at something. He started talking about Sean Connery, so I was like, yeah, YouTube. I don't know. I was like, oh, what else has he done? It just made me interested in like shit, but then I was like, no. So yeah, brain farting everywhere right now. I'm still kind of in holiday mode since I only got back yesterday. I've tried to take in a lot of like information because I was in like a internet free zone, and yeah, there's just too much that's happened. So later on, you're gonna have to summarize like the past 2 weeks of news for me. Yeah,
I can do that.
You do that, and I'll comment on it as always.
You like landed back home, and you're like one of those like time travelers out of a movie. You're just like, what year is this? Who's the president? Exactly. I have, yeah, like literally, where am I? When is it? It's like Back to the Future in a way. Well, fair enough, buddy. I'm glad you had a good time though.
I had a lovely time. It was very relaxing. I had many naps. It was great. Sleepies on the beach. It's very cool.
So yeah, you had some cheeky naps, and you had some beers, and you had a rest, and you've come back revitalized and ready to talk about video games.
Yeah, man. I played a few video games out there. Actually, I watched quite a few films on old Tablet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got like my missus' father-in-law like last year I think gave me his like old Samsung Tab 2, I think it is, like the 7-inch one, like, and you know how I updated my phone to the latest Android, like using like the custom whatever it is, I can't remember what.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do this on the tablet, because like it runs like a piece of shit, like because of all the like bloatware and like Samsung crap on it, and there's
that will happen with Samsung.
That will happen. So I rooted it, and then boom, yeah, installed it on there, and yeah, it's like really quick now. So I was like, wow, this is awesome. So I stuck a load of films on there. I had my 32 gig micro SD card. which was very handy. And I loaded also like 10 episodes that I'd been stockpiling of Hatfilm's Cornerstone. So that kept me busy as well. So I watched a lot of Minecraft. And it made me think I should play Minecraft again some point. So I don't know, but I want to play the PC version. So we might have to try and do that somehow. I don't know how though, but yeah.
Yeah, I have absolutely no way of doing that. But I have had a hankering recently for playing some Minecraft.
Maybe we could do that
back
again.
on it.
Yeah, Gibbons, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played a few games on the Vita, which was nice, and it was my son's birthday while we were out there, so he had a surprise when he got home of Skylanders Trap Team. Now that it's gone down to like 20 quid, which I think I'll probably do every year now for his birthday, because fuck off am I paying like 55 quid for that? It's retarded. But we've been down this road before. On how retarded that game model is.
In the new one.
Yeah, I did see that. It's just
that's another thing to buy.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, for fuck's sake, like the ones in the Trap Team, you have to buy these Trap Masters, and yeah. Well, we've got one comes with the game, and like he got another one for his birthday from one of my mates that knows him well, Tom. What a ledge.
Proper ledge.
Yeah, Gibbons. And what it is in this one's obviously you have to have your Trap Masters to get into the secret areas. And all that's in these secret areas is like a little shitty hat that you put on that gives you like a stat boost. And I'm like, wow, that is so not worth it. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to bother like trying to collect all these Trap Master ones. I don't see the point in it. So we've got loads of characters to play with, so we'll just go with that. So yeah.
Sounds fair enough, man.
Yeah, man. I'll talk a little bit about it and how I think it's a little bit broken later on. I've played about, 2 hours of it so far. We'll get on to that. But yeah, how's your week and a half or so long since I really spoke to you been?
Yeah, I can't really remember what I did since you weren't in the country, but I haven't done very much at all, to be honest. I'm mainly job hunting at the moment, so that's taken up quite a lot of my time scouring the internet.
Is that like a cheeky plug to say, someone, if anyone's listening to this with a job in my area, can you contact me?
Well, that's the weirdest thing about it is kind of, but not in that respect, to be honest, because of the sort of jobs that I'm going for, which a lot of them are kind of creative writing jobs involving PR and public speaking, audio, video editing, all of that sort of thing. I can't help but put things like this podcast on my CV.
Nice.
Which it's a must. It's a necessity because it's an example of something that I do. But it's also terrifying to think that I send a CV out to a legitimate organisation and they respond to my interest by listening to the Justice for Gamers podcast.
It's going to go well. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, hopefully they'll realise that it's an example of the different tones that I can...
the many varieties of, occasions that you can bring to such an event.
It's kind of weird because a lot of the stuff that I've done recently is very creative and also very personal. So the idea of business is looking at what I've been spending my life doing. It's kind of, fills me with some degree of dread, but it's needs must.
Indeed, buddy.
But yeah, so I've been job hunting. Other than that, I went to a Eurovision party, which was very fun. I went to... we have a mutual friend. You may have heard of him, dear listener. His name is PJ. His business involves the occasional allowance of speciality tickets to gigs and so on, and he took me out on a beautiful date to the O2 to watch the opening night of Fleetwood Mac in concert, which was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. It was a special night, including a free bar and Fleetwood Mac, and it was brilliant. And we got very drunk because you would.
Oh, definitely free bar.
I believe we held it well, especially seeing as his boss was there, so we kind of needed to. But yeah, that was pretty special. But other than that, yeah, just job hunting and playing quite a lot of guitar, because I've got a couple of weird gigs coming up in a few weeks' time that I need some covers for and stuff. I'm playing a gig at an Iron Man tournament.
As in the weightlifting and stuff.
That's right. It's a triathlon. Okay,
cool. Are you there to pump them up? Get them psyched up with your death metal?
This is basically it. I'm an acoustic musician. I would imagine that if you're swimming the moat of a castle, you don't want to listen to me playing very soft, melancholic acoustic music. So I've thought that the least that I could do is learn some upbeat songs. So I'm learning some new covers at the moment.
You should learn some folk music, because obviously ye old England was built on castles and moats.
It's true. It's true.
Get the loot out,
It's sage wisdom, and I'll take it on board.
Good.
So yeah, that's what we've been up to. Normally at this point, we would head into what's new on the site this week, wouldn't we?
Yeah, there's nothing going on there. I don't know. Have you done anything? I haven't.
Not really.
I ain't been
I've got some stuff on the go, but it hasn't been posted yet. I thought, seeing as you were away and we weren't recording a podcast and we weren't doing any videos, it'd be a good time for me to take a little break as well. And obviously, seeing as I'm spending about 5 hours a day on the internet looking up jobs and stuff at the moment and repeatedly editing my CV.
Nice.
I thought I'd leave it for a week, take a week off from writing and so on. So there's nothing new on the site since the last podcast, but there will be before the next one. There's things on the go, and we'll have something to talk about there at the time. But right now we don't, so I think we can move straight on. It's probably best, to be honest, because we've got about 2 weeks of news to get through, so we could do with cutting a section early doors. So now it's time for what we've been playing. Do you want to start us off, Ash?
Yeah, go on then. So I'm on a plane, flying away to a far-off destination known as Portugal. Very excited about this because it's a holiday.
With you so far?
Yeah.
Holiday.
I'm on the holiday. Well, embarking on the holiday. I'm like, right, kids are settled, they're not screaming in my face. So I'm like, time for a bit of Vita. Crack it open. I'm like, yes, here we go. Flight mode enabled. Murasaki baby, let's do this. Oh dear. It didn't go well, did it?
Oh no.
It was a bad start. Bad shout, that one. So, This game is some twisted, weird little person in this, weird... It's pretty much like some kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? Not devil, but, underworldy, twisted...
Like a demon.
Nightmarish scenario, I'd say. That kind of setting. And it looks quite nice. It's a good art style. But then I start playing it and I'm like, why are the controls not working? It's because it's fucking touchscreen, isn't it? Oh dear. Immediately I'm like, I don't like this game because my fingers are in the way of the screen. I mean, what's you have controls on the side of the thing for a reason, to use them. But this game is completely touchscreen and the touchpad at the back. You use the touchpad at the back to flip between the two nightmare worlds. I don't know what they were. This did something in the game. Not really sure what it did. You could do certain things in one area and certain things in another. and you literally just like pulled this upside down face devil baby, I'm gonna call it, by dragging this heart-shaped balloon along the screen. But if you dragged it too fast, she'd fall over. This annoyed me. I immediately turned it off. So yeah.
So that's the end of that.
Yeah, that was definitely the end of that. And then because that like ruined it so early, I literally put the Vita away for like 3 days, and then just watched, like I said, watched films and Minecraft, and I was happy with that.
Murasaki Baby caused you to just stop gaming for like
for
3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a box quote if ever I heard one.
Indeed. But yeah, literally, I was so like, just, I don't know, like I immediately closed the game and was like, right, let's just play something else. And I was just like, I just don't feel like it. So like, I just got the tablet out, and I think I watched like Ninjago, which is like a Lego cartoon. I just watched that with my son. I watched an episode of that, and I was like, yeah, that was better. Enjoyed that. But yeah, so a few days later, time had passed. I had bronzed in the sun. I was glistening at this point.
Sorry, that was an involuntary laugh that will definitely have clipped my microphone.
Well done.
Sorry, carry on.
And
enjoy that.
I get back into. I load up the Vita. And because we started playing, or you started playing Uncharted 3 before, and I loaded it up as well, I was like, you know what? I'm going to play Uncharted Golden Abyss. And oh my god. Wow. What a game for a Vita. I'm like, you know what my view is on like portable games? You know, they're allowed to be a bit shitty.
Graphically,
yeah, and you know, mechanically they don't have to be the sound. It's like with what was it, Killzone? It was a bit finicky with the aiming and shooting, but yeah, this game is just awesome. Like graphically for the Vita, it looks really nice. The controls are nice and smooth. Like they feel like an Uncharted game. Like it didn't feel like I was playing some kind of Vita special. Like special as in like
Shaft Master.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Vita special game. Yeah, I'll edit that out or put in some other word, I think. I didn't feel like I was playing that type of game. It felt like a proper game. What I did like about it, it was using the Vita's like specialties, or you know, its characteristics to its strength. So like all the motion sensoring and things like that. So like when you would aim, you hold down the left button and aim with the right trigger, but then to like really like home in on it, you could actually move the Vita around, and that would finalize your like well, it's not a crosshair, it's a circle, isn't it, on Uncharted, but that's how you could really get the headshots and stuff like that. I really liked the fact that you could do like photoing, and like the sniping was the same, so like you could zoom in like with the touchpad, like up or not touchpad, the touch screen, like skimming it up and down, and then move the actual Vita around to aim and things like that. And it was just like, yeah, you know what, this is what this console or you know thing was made for. And like just like in Tearaway, where that uses is to its to the game's advantage, this was doing the same thing.
It's as you said, like with Tearaway, like there's a real shortage of games on this platform that really utilise all of the things that it can do, all the different control methods, and this is a great example. They're few and far between, and I don't think we'll see many more. I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago on the podcast about how Sony are kind of basically giving up to an extent with the system. But yeah, I've played sort of half hour of this because Ellen's got it on her Vita as well, and it's very, very impressive. I really liked the combat with the swiping sort of up and down and left and right and stuff on the screen. Are
you talking about the quick time events, buddy?
Yeah, for some reason, if I'm physically like swiping in directions, it doesn't feel quite so contrived as if I'm just tapping A or whatever.
Definitely. There was just so many nice like dynamics with it. Like so like the photo mode where like you can find like certain photos and you have to take the same one. You can like flick your fingers up and down on the back to like zoom in and zoom out. Oh god! And like when you find artifacts, you can spin them round and clean them. I don't know about the cleaning thing. That was a bit weird, but the whole spinning round thing with the rear touchpad, you know, like things like that. It's really cool. The puzzles,
classy, isn't it?
Puzzles as well. Like if I had a game of just puzzles, I'd buy that. You know, the way they do that. You know, just moving it with your fingers, spinning it round and stuff. I'd buy a puzzle game. It'd be ace.
Very cool game.
Yeah, there's just lots and lots of good things in that game. So when I started playing that game, I was like, right, immediately, like every night I'd be like, yeah, shut up, woman, I'm playing Vita Uncharted time. But yeah, it was cracking game, really enjoying it. I'm gonna definitely, even though I'm back to playing on the PS4, I think I'll still pick it up here and there and finish it off.
Nice, man. I mean, that's a sign of a good game. If you're in a position where you could play either, there's no, you know, you're not denied of the main console, and you still fancy picking up the portable version. That's the sign of a good game, surely.
Yeah, definitely. As well as that, while I was away, I played Lego Indiana Jones on the Nintendo DS, like the old DS, because. When I was down at my folks, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months ago, I found our old Nintendo DS. I was like, oh yeah, my son would like this because like he's got a tablet and stuff, but he hasn't got like a handheld. And like I thought, like Nintendo always make cracking handhelds for like kids and stuff like that, but obviously adults as well. So I just thought that, and then I was scouring the internet for like just cheap DS games, and there's like millions of them, but I just saw like in Lego Indiana Jones, I think it was like £3. I was like, yep, that'll do. So I got him that and stuck that in there for his birthday, or before his birthday, so I could take it on holiday with him. So I played a bit of that because obviously he was getting stuck on bits, but yeah, it's alright, you know, a bit dated now, but still like I'm impressed with like how they did it on the DS. Like it's all like 3D and everything, so that was pretty cool. The touch stuff on it was quite pointless because you could also hit, I think it was like A button to do whatever it said on the touch screen, so that was weird.
Right.
Yeah, like literally it's like absolutely pointless, like it being there. Like you can either like switch to your different Lego character, which you can also do by, I think it's Y, and there's like a larger part of the screen where you have like an action like dig or something like that, but you can also do that with A. So I don't really know, don't think they utilised the DS to its maximum there, but yeah, it was okay, it was good. It's a fine game, nothing wrong with it, but yeah, £3, mate. And then the big one, when we got back yesterday, so I've played about an hour and a half of Skylanders Trap Team today.
Ooh.
Not much difference to the previous version, but I didn't think there would be, apart from, you know, the new trap masters that was on about, and like now you can trap the bad guys, and you can play as the bad guys for a little amount of time, but once again that means you have to buy little key things or whatever they are to do that, so that's even more money, so that's great news. So wow. I think I'm going out this weekend to buy some, actually. I think that's what I'm doing, so I can't wait for that. Yeah,
I've got no idea about any of this stuff or concept of it. Like, you might as well be going, yeah, I'm learning Mandarin at the moment with my son. We're just learning Mandarin. Yeah. It's completely alien to me, like the whole idea of it. I'm not a kid, and Well, I remember when I was little, I always used to wonder why adults didn't have like a sense of perspective of what I, as a child, was going through.
Yeah.
And now I've got older and I've just forgotten, and I'm just like, what?
Well, the main difference is now, like, I'm quite happy like collecting them, like if he wants to go for it. But the thing is, like, just reining them in and making sure you get them when they're on sale or when they're like just cheap. Because otherwise, it'll just be fucking ridiculous money, like in the hundreds. But it's like if I can get like a few for like a tenner or something like that, I'll be like, yeah, there you go, just get them. He's happy. The good thing is that he doesn't really know what he needs or he wants, so I can like kind of steer him in that direction and be like, yeah, that's the one you want, mate. Yeah.
Do you think that'll change?
Oh, when he gets older, yeah, definitely. But then I can just be like, no. Or I'll get him to like wash the car or something, like you used to, like it'd be like do like odd jobs around the house and like tidy up stuff and do the vacuuming and things like that. And be like, yeah, there's a £5, treat yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game itself, like I said, is pretty much the same, nothing new. But I found it really finicky. Like, so there's two people on screen. When one there was loads of glitches, and this game's been out since last year. Like, once it's September time when it comes out, so you would have thought they might have fixed some of these issues. So like, one character gets too far away from the other. Obviously, the screen doesn't work like that, and then it just immediately teleports the other one to whatever one it thinks is in the best position. There was countless times where like I would either fall off or he would fall off the side, and it would just stay there for like a couple of minutes, like glitching out. I was like, what?
Oh man.
Yeah, like seriously, I was like, wow, this is broken. Like, and it doesn't look like they've done anything about it. I've got all the updates and everything installed, but yeah, the Swap Force one felt a lot more polished in the way for like co-op play, whereas this one just doesn't feel good at all. Obviously, this is only after an hour and a half. Like, it might not ever happen again, but I'm sure it happened about like 5 or 6 times, like in the space of that 2 hours of playing.
Oh, it's definitely a glitch then, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Like, it's so there'd be like jumping puzzles. I'd get to the jumping puzzle, he would try and do the final bit, fail, and then have to go round again, and then as he goes back to the beginning, it pulls me off the edge.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an issue. So therefore I've got to go around and do it.
Awful.
Yeah, exactly. In a co-op game, that can get very frustrating if you're playing with a 5-year-old and they're, making a fair few mistakes, which they can, which is fine. Until you lose it and be like, come on, fuck's sake. But yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been playing. I've also got Lego Batman 3. Looking forward to that because I picked that up for just under £14 just before I went away. So got that in the bag as well. Yeah, no, 14 quid, mate. So that's another one he's got to play, and I'll join in here and there. So I don't know if what it's gonna compare to with the Lego Marvel, but I will report on it when I play it.
Very nice.
So I've done a lot of talking just then, mainly shit. So what have you been playing?
Okay, so I think you've said it before, like a few podcasts ago when I was kind of fairly busy, not online very much. Obviously, I realised that you were going to be off for at least a week. And it's only when one of us has gone for a week or so that I realise quite how much my evenings tend to revolve around playing games with you.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because time seems to pass very slowly in the evenings when you're on holiday. That's what I've found out. But either way, it seemed like a very obvious opportunity to really cane through something single player. And I think when we were talking in the podcast before, that was probably going to be Thief.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Thief. I didn't play any of Thief. And that's because of the PlayStation Now beta and the fact that the PlayStation Now beta included Uncharted 3.
Woo!
As I said, I'd played about half hour of Golden Abyss, the Vita version. But I have my reservations there as to how true it was to an Uncharted game. The fact that it isn't a Naughty Dog game, for example.
Yeah.
And I'd never played an Uncharted game before. I didn't have a PS3, and so therefore I couldn't possibly have owned it. I didn't play it at anyone else's house or anything either. It's not the sort of game that you would really, is it? It's mainly a single player experience. I know that there was an online multiplayer aspect, but I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I played it from start to finish while you were away, within about sort of 4 or 5 sittings, something like that. And as the credits rolled, I skipped back to the main menu and started again, and I'm now halfway through a second playthrough.
It's strange how those games do that, because like I had the original 2, the original 2, the first 2, on the PS3, and that's exactly what I did. I finished it, and then I immediately just started it again, and I don't know why. I just did. It was just so much fun.
It sucks you in.
Yeah.
It sucks you. I mean, the story was wonderful. It was just really, really good. It felt like I was playing Indiana Jones, and the different locales and the different characters. The voice acting is absolutely fucking brilliant. I'll never get tired of hearing Victor Sullivan he could just talk at me for hours on end and it would be fine. Richard McGonagall.
Classic.
I wasn't sure if I would be kind of screwing myself over by playing the third, having never played the first or the second. It doesn't feel like it. I'm just as keen on playing the first 2. Well, to be honest, about 10 times more so than I was before. Just a wonderful game, a wonderful experience. I don't think it's the absolute pinnacle of gameplay. There's a lot of weird camera switches, quick time events. I found myself missing jumps, falling off of walls because of switching cameras. Also, the controls felt a little bit woolly, but I'd be more than willing to put some of that down to the fact that I was streaming the thing.
Yeah.
That has to have some effect on how precise things are. It certainly took me a couple of hours to get the gist of how sensitive the camera seemed to be for headshots and stuff.
Yeah.
And at first I thought that was possibly button delay. By the end of the game I was having no problem with it anymore. I don't know if I just adjusted or if I was just being an idiot in the first place. Just a brilliant experience. Not massively keen on using the term experience for playing games, but it really just felt like I was in a 10-hour action movie that was gripping from start to finish. So great puzzles, great locations. It looks really nice considering it's a PS3 game and B, I'm streaming it. It's not even on my system. I just thought it was wonderful. I'm sure I'll complete it a second time. I'm now very, very much hoping that the story we were talking about a few weeks back about the possibility of a Uncharted trilogy remaster coming to the PlayStation 4 at some point this year. I very much hope that's true because that'll be a day one purchase for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Just wonderful experience.
Yeah.
So yes, I played that. I'll stop about that now.
Yeah. It's a very, very good game, isn't it? Like all the Uncharted series, they just make, Naughty Dog, they just make cracking games. Even though I don't think they made the Vita version. There was a different studio that made that.
Yeah, there's
Bend. Is it Bend? I think
it is Bend. Yes,
Yeah.
That's right. I was about to try and think of the name and fail, but yes, you're right. It's Bend.
Yes.
They obviously did a very good job of capturing the spirit of the thing.
Yeah, well, the same voice actors and stuff, really, isn't it? So I mean, Nathan Drake is anyway. That's going to be a big deal. If he's a different chap, then that'd be.
I mean, I watched the early gameplay footage that they released a couple of months back, and I just can't wait now. It just looks wonderful, absolutely wonderful, beautiful looking. Can't wait.
Yeah,
excellent.
Do it.
So yeah, next, I've played Project Cars, and I've been playing the career mode on Project Cars, and I'm getting a little bit bored.
What, of Project Cars?
Of the career mode. I'm getting a little bit bored of just doing race after race and qualifying after qualifying.
I was getting worried then. You're getting bored of a racing game.
I don't think that it's the game's fault, although you could argue that if the career was a little more engaging, then I would maybe not be getting bored.
Like if it had a storyline.
No, that's not what I want at all. I have completely overplayed Project Cars along with several other racing games, and I've done this before in the past. I just need to take a little break, I think. But
yeah.
It's at its absolute finest when I'm playing with friends, and I only really get the opportunity to do that with several friends once a week. And they haven't had the sort of time available to them to play it as much as I have. But yeah, I think I just need to cool off on that a little bit for a little while. So I've been playing that, been playing PES as I always do. My Schalke side won the Champions League, and we've got reborn 16-year-old Didier Drogba, Xavi and Francesco Totti now.
That'll do.
And I have to say that one of the things that I missed the most when we switched to FIFA all the way back in 08-09 was this whole reborn players thing. The fact that a player retires and then the following season they're back in as a 16-year-old. And the problem I always had with FIFA, and the reason that I got into this habit of probably only playing maybe 2 or 3 seasons each career mode and then starting afresh, was that FIFA doesn't do that. And so 5, 6, 7 seasons into your career mode, all of the players you're using are just gibberish, just nonsense, made up randoms. Players. PES, you can just keep playing forever. It's circular, basically, the career, and
goes round and round like a merry-go-round.
It does, and it's very enjoyable.
Or like a record player.
Indeed. So yeah, that's really good. What else? The Unfinished Swan. I completed that while you were away. I was about halfway through, I think. It's not a very long game. It was last month's PS Plus.
I don't think I've played any of last month's PS Plus games, apart from Miyazaki Baby.
I feel like people were a little underwhelmed by some of them, and I think a lot of people probably would have. Maybe they're getting a little bit sick of the sort of 3-hour indie story single player experience thing. I think it was worth completing. I'd recommend you play it. I thought it was very, very good. Just a cool game with some excellent mechanics involving paint. You have to sort of paint the scenery around you to find your way through it. It was a cool story. It was really nicely put together. But I'm probably done with that now. I think I played a grand total of about 3.5 hours of it, and I very much doubt I'll ever go back. But very nice game.
Fair dues, buddy.
And then finally, it's Wednesday that we're recording this, upon my request, because once again I'm dicking about doing stuff on other days, and PlayStation Plus went live today, so 4 games that were PlayStation 4 compatible went onto the store this afternoon, and I have played all 4 of them, Ash, because that is how I live my life.
Well, why wouldn't you?
So, Futuridium Extended Play Deluxe is a phone game.
Is this the one that looks like Star Fox? Like
it looks a bit version? The original SNES Star Fox. Yeah, it is. I played it for about 15-20 minutes, and it's just a phone game. It's just fly around, collect cube, go back, whatever. There's a pumping soundtrack. I think I've been very much flying the flag for Sony with all of these really small indie developed simplistic games coming off of the sort of tablet store game, that sort of thing. I think I've kind of had my fill now. and so I won't be playing that again. Can't be asked. It's just like a phone game, so I won't bother. Then I played Super Exploding Zoo.
Yay!
Same thing again. It's like a flash game. It's just, it's the sort of thing you'd find on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
You're a thingy. You've got to protect a thingy by killing other thingies, by going around collecting other thingies. 2D map. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I get really angry when I'm listening to other podcasts and people on there who haven't really given stuff a fair shot just dismiss it. Like, it makes me angry, and I always think to myself, why would you keep just dismissing stuff when, like, there's people out there who would have given that a fair whack and probably liked it on that basis, and, like, I just don't know why you would do that, but I seem to be doing it right now. I couldn't give a fuck about Super Exploding Zoo. I deleted it 10 minutes after installing it. I will never play it again, and I wouldn't bother. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the other two we've got are Skulls of the Shogun and Ground Zeroes. You say you haven't played any of these?
No, haven't played any. I had obviously I know what Ground Zeroes is. I had a quick YouTube of Skulls of the Shogun earlier. I didn't really get what was going on there, but yeah, something happened.
Okay, Skulls of the Shogun is the good one.
Ooh.
This is the good indie game that we've been given this month. It's really fun, and it's a turn-based story sort of game. It starts off, you're on almost like a Super Mario map, where you go from point to point throughout the kingdom. And then each map that you go to is a series of battles, but it's all kind of turn-based. You've got a certain number of turns, so it's got a sort of XCOM or Transistor. It's got that sort of thing going on. And it's really fun, and it's really good, and it's also really funny. There's a lot of meta jokes in there. It kind of refers to itself all the time. It's set in it's set in hell, but it's set in ancient Japanese times. But it's all told out in speech bubbles. It's really fucking funny and really fun to play, and strategic and cool and very, very good.
No,
and you should play it, and we should talk about it next week, because I think it merits it. And I'm sure I saw a video ages ago. It may well have been Total Biscuit that I was watching a video of playing it, and I'd forgotten that that's what it was until I loaded it up, and then I was really pleased. So yeah, definitely give that a go. It's really cool, and I reckon we'll talk about that again next week, because I reckon we'll have both been playing it for some time.
I'll give it a go.
And finally, in this bumper, what we've been playing session, I tucked into Ground Zeroes for about half an hour. And again, I reckon we'll be talking about this next week, because I reckon we'll both get our teeth into this.
Yeah.
We always liked the look of it. We just felt like it looked basically like a demo rather than a release, and we weren't really prepared to pay for it. And now we're delighted that we didn't, because we didn't have to, and we both got it. Looks really cool, graphically really nice, and I love third-person stealth games, so I'm sure I'm going to absolutely lap it up. I haven't got a fucking clue what the story's all about. Everyone's got really stupid names, and there's probably a whole, there's like probably 100 pages of lore that I could read to get up to speed, having never played a Metal Gear game ever in my life. But
but have you ever wanted to play a Metal Gear game?
Yes, yeah, really? Absolutely.
I've never wanted to play one.
They were so huge though.
I know. And
I've probably played 20 minutes of the first one, like when I was little.
I don't think I did, I think it just passed me by. It was just something I was just like, no, I don't know.
I'm sure that I would have got into that series and bought all of those games if I had a PlayStation, but I didn't. This is my first PlayStation. The PS4 is my first ever Sony console, so wow. I've never had any possibility of playing it. Same as Uncharted. And yeah, it means that I didn't really know what to expect here. It also means that I'm not that excited about Phantom Pain, when a lot of people are. But I'm hoping that this will get me into it enough And I was kind of hoping that PS Now would have a Metal Gear game on there, but it doesn't. But
yeah, that would have been good to
from
play.
our experiences with PS Now, may well make use of that service once it's up and running proper, and I'm sure there'll be Metal Gear games on there at the time. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably talk about it more next week, because I reckon I'll probably play a chunk of it this week. But yeah, early impressions, that thing looks really cool, really fun.
Yeah, buddy. We'll give it a go.
We certainly will. So that's what we've been playing this week. And last week.
Indeed.
And now it's time for Fonz or Phoenix.
Ooh.
This week we have a Fonz, Ash.
I see, buddy. It's a very good one. It's, you know, this looks like it's going to be the forefront of digital media.
I mean, you've just described this story and also Steam as a business.
Yeah, they seem to be pushing the boundaries once again.
Yeah, it's all common sense stuff, but it seems like everyone else is always kind of lagging behind. I'm not saying Steam are perfect. I think they could do with a little bit of curation, especially. I don't know if you saw some of the things that came out over the last couple of weeks on Steam. Some really dodgy, like racist and homophobic games that sort of snuck onto Greenlight and stuff, because they just refused to curate that storefront at all. But they have their reasons for that, and at least, you know, you can understand it. It's not negligence, it's a point of view there. Anyway, This is far more positive than that. This week, Steam have announced that they are going to bring in refunds. In fact, I think they're live right now. Now, this has been a bone of contention for anyone who has made digital purchases on any platform, really. We've talked about it before when we bought Drive Club. If there'd been a very obvious chain or process into getting ourselves a refund on that game, I suspect we probably would have done, wouldn't we, to be honest? Because it was a shambles.
I definitely would have been like, give me my money back. This is shit. I've played it for like an hour and it doesn't work. Give me my money back.
There's no better reason for a refund than if the product you've bought is broken. It shouldn't be so difficult to get one. And now, if you're a PC gamer, then it isn't. It isn't difficult to get one. So let me read you this little quote from Valve. You can request a refund for nearly any purchase on Steam for any reason. Maybe your PC doesn't meet hardware requirements. Maybe you bought a game by mistake. Maybe you played the title for an hour and just didn't like it. It doesn't matter. Valve will, upon request via help.steampowered.com, issue a refund for any reason. So the only caveat to this is you have to request your refund within 14 days, and you have to have played the game for less than 2 hours, both of which I think are entirely reasonable.
Yeah.
But credit where it's fucking due, quite frankly. Like, especially
that last bit of the quote, like maybe you played the title for an hour and just didn't like it. I mean, fucking, it's even hard to take like back a physical version of a game if you don't like it. Like,
it's true.
It's ridiculous. I remember like trying to take back. I think it was Juiced 2 on the original Xbox, the Xbox One, and I took it back. I think it was like Blockbusters at the time where I got it from. I was just like, this game's shit. I want my money back. And they were like, what? No. I'm like, yeah, this game is shit. I would like a refund because it's shit. And they were like, okay. I ended up getting my money back, which was nice. But yeah, they weren't they weren't too happy about it.
It's so weird though, isn't it? Because any other product under the sun,
yeah,
if you went in and you were like, this is fucking shit,
yeah,
they'd be like more than willing to give you a refund or at least store credit. And certainly if you bought something and it was broken, like,
yeah.
like you go back into a furniture store and you're like, this is literally broken. Like, there's a door hanging off of this cupboard. I want a refund. They'd be like, of course. You go in there with a game and you're like, the online servers don't work. They'd be like, what?
Okay. But so I bought an inside aerial. I think it was like last year to watch the football, whatever football was on last year. You know, World Cup Hidge or something. Maybe.
It was the World Cup.
Yeah. So I could watch it on the telly in the kitchen, and plugged it in. Did nothing. So I took it back and I was like, "This is shit. It doesn't work." They were like, "All right, then. There's your money." I'm like, "Thank you. See you later."
Yeah.
And that was it. Job done.
Again, I feel like it's there's a perception of customer there from developers and publishers and online stores. I think there's always been this perception of the fact, like, you're making games, no matter what rating they are, and the fact that this is a complete fallacy and in no way true anymore, that you're making games for kids and kids are stupid and kids don't deserve anything, and so, you know, fuck you if you want your refund, whatever, you're just some stupid kid. That's the impression that I get from this industry on regular occasion, and it's not acceptable. And Sony and Microsoft will find it very difficult to carry any different sort of stance than Steam do now that they've made this move. It's fantastic for the games industry that Valve have come out and done this.
Yes, absolutely. What a move. Brilliant. Love it.
And now it's time for the news.
The news.
The news.
The news.
The news.
Great.
Number 1. F1 delayed till July 10th.
Don't care, I've got Project Cars at the moment, so it's fine.
Okay, I agree. But I am excited about that game and I will be buying it.
You are, I'm not.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we will see.
Number 2. Project Cars Wii U is unlikely to be coming out.
Ah, what? I thought it was
Wow.
I was so looking forward to that. When I buy my Wii U, like, next year, and Project Cars isn't on it, I'm going to be like, for fuck's sake. What?
Yeah,
What am I going to do?
no one thought that this game was going to come out on the Wii U, and it isn't going to come out on the Wii U. A spokesperson from Slightly Mad came out this week and said that it's currently running at 23 frames per second in 720p on the Wii U, and kind of they basically said, we reckon we could probably get it going at 30 if we could be bothered, but there's just no way that that's going to happen. But that's basically they came out and said that there's although it's not going to be coming out, it could launch on the next Nintendo, which is just a complete fob off. Yeah. There's not much to talk about here. No one thought that game was coming out on the Wii U. I don't know why they chose to announce that it would, and it isn't. It won't. I promise you it won't. And it probably won't come out on the NX either, frankly, because that could be like 2 or 3 years away, and why would you be releasing Project Cars on it? So,
mate, NX is coming out at E3. It's going to be like how Microsoft do it, and it's under your seat.
And there's also $500 in everyone's bank accounts. No, it's not coming out at E3. They've said they're not going to even talk about it at all at E3.
No, it's just, you know, it's what's it?
It's a ploy.
It's all a ploy, you know.
Okay, well, either way, Project Cars isn't coming out on Wii U. Sorry about that, Wii U owners, but you probably knew that already, unless you're mental. Next, the new Xbox controller is launching this month. I didn't know that was a thing.
Me neither.
Video Gamer posted about this, and I don't know if they actually broke the story with their shrewd sleuthing or if they nicked it off someone else. But basically, there's a post from Microsoft on their website saying, "Get to know your Xbox wireless controller." Designed to familiarize users with the controller, and it includes the mention of a 3.5mm headphone port, which it says is only available on controllers released after June 2015.
They're doing away with the stupid little whatever it is.
Yeah, the mini jack or whatever it's called.
The mini micro jack.
Yeah, I don't know if the controller will be any different other than that, but that's definitely changing. And those looks like they'll be available from June. Maybe that's something they'll announce at E3 and say they're out now. It's out now!
I've heard that it's twice the size.
The controller?
Yeah. And sits on your face.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing the reveal for that.
Should be a good one.
As Phil motherfucking Spencer comes out with a controller on his face.
True.
Next, FIFA 16 features female teams. There are going to be 12 national sides included in the game. The game has a launch date now, 25th of September. But you can't play men versus women. You can only play women versus women. But, yeah, FIFA's got women in it. Female teams. What do you think about that?
That's nice, isn't it? Why not? They play football.
Yeah. They do. They do play football.
Now, is there going to be women characters in COD now?
I think there are women characters in COD.
Are there? What, in multiplayer things?
I think so.
Well, you can actually select between male and female. Can't in Battlefield.
I thought you could. I might be wrong.
I don't play Call of Duty, so I do not know. I will find out.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to be an ongoing thing where women are going to start appearing in games as we move out of the fucking dark ages. Now it's 2015.
Now that we can afford to render them, buddy.
Thank you, Ubisoft.
Just a little one about Ubisoft on the female front. Again, they have disbanded the Frag Dolls. Did you ever hear about the Frag Dolls over the past 10 years or something?
I don't know. Don't think so.
It
doesn't ring a bell.
Ubisoft's all-girl gaming clan or gaming team. I remember when we had the 360, I used to subscribe to, I think it was 360 Gamer magazine. I think that's what it was called. And one of the Frag Dolls used to write a few articles in there about it. But they've been disbanded after 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Did they wear very tight clothing and go to lots of expos?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I get you.
But they were actually quite good gamers, from what I remember, and they did apparently do quite a lot of work for girls in gaming or females in gaming and stuff like that, promoting it and things like that. So yeah, I'm guessing they did a lot of good work, and it's a shame that they've gone.
Yeah. Okay, next, Need for Speed. We mentioned this very briefly in our last podcast, which was a fortnight ago. And it was I think we recorded that on a Tuesday. I think, again, that was my fault. But there was going to be a Need for Speed launch reveal on the Thursday. Well, that came about, and we didn't miss much because it looks very played with, the footage. It didn't really show any sort of real proper gameplay footage. We had pretty much surmised that it was going to be a Need for Speed Underground reboot, and that does seem to be the case, but they're not going to be calling it Need for Speed Underground. It's just going to be called Need for Speed, and they're describing it as a reboot, which is quite a popular thing to do these days. Just take like Tomb Raider did the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story that's come out this week about it is that it is going to require a constant internet connection. You're not going to be able to play it unless you're online.
No.
Do
No one
you
likes
still see that as a real problem?
Yes, we've been through this before. About my whole issues with SimCity, how that had the internet connection, and then literally the second day after I bought it, my internet went down, and I couldn't play.
Yeah,
it.
but I think that this is. I think that there's some sort of legitimate gameplay mechanic or reason why. I don't think this is like a sort of DRM thing, because this is, you're talking about a predominantly console game here.
Yeah,
it's not something that people will have pirated. So the reason that it's online, I'm assuming, is because it's going to be open world and you're going to be constantly on servers with people.
It's going to be an MMO racing RPG.
You think it's going to be their crack at what was it fucking called? The Ubi game.
Oh, the Crew. Yeah, it's going to be
I
that.
think it's going to be their version of the Crew. That's what they're going for.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that's totally
Need for Speed Rivals had a touch of that, didn't it? It was open world.
Did have, yeah.
There were only about 6 people on a server, but
yeah, and people could use their
deal.
phones to like fuck up your car and stuff, which was great. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I don't see it as a massive issue, but that is probably because I am online all the time.
Yeah, I don't see it as an issue until my internet goes down. Then,
Yeah, exactly.
Then it's an issue.
Yeah. So, I think EA came back and said that the network requirement will allow for nice benefits. That's a direct quote. Nice benefits. I don't know what they mean by that. But we'll move on.
I think it means happy endings.
Yeah. Next up, Windows 10. Which we've already reported on is free for anyone running Windows 7 or 8, including people who nicked it.
Yeah,
it launches on the 29th of July, and look out for a tray notification about that. If you're running a current version of Windows, that should pop up in the same way that application updates and stuff pop up every now and again, and system updates, and you can reserve your copy on there now. The download's going to be about 3 gig. And 29th of July.
I'm looking at it right now.
Have you got your copy sorted, have you?
Yeah, on laptop and PC, so they're both reserved. It says it will download once available, and you can cancel your reservation at any time. It just says
Nice.
It's going to download to the device, install, and then that's it. You're there, which is good. I like free stuff.
Yeah, it's very impressive, to be honest, what they're up to at the moment. And I've been reading, I've read a couple of previews about Windows 10, which gives you some sort of idea about me. I don't have a Windows PC, so either way, it looks like a really solid system. They've learned a lot of lessons from Windows 8. I think one of the big things that people are going to really notice here is the sort of optimization they've done. They've stripped away a lot of the processes involved in the background. And I think it's really going to revitalize a lot of older systems. There's going to be, you're talking about a longevity that just didn't exist 10 years ago in some of these new PCs. You buy a PC now with a new copy of Windows on there, and you could be good to go for sort of 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, that's
when
the
before,
thing, isn't it?
it just wasn't the case. So I don't know. Maybe it'll come out and it'll bomb. I don't look like a right
possibly.
mug. But from an outsider's perspective, who's done a little bit of reading, it looks like it's going to be rather successful. So that's that. Let's move on to the next thing, which is about Grand Theft Auto, everyone's favourite game, the best game ever made.
Best game.
There's a new content pack coming out. It's called Ill-Gotten Games. It launches at some point this month. It's going to feature new cars, new weapons, new clothes, and there's going to be a second pack to launch in the summer at some point. What do you think about that?
I'm definitely happy about this. We've already had a lot of actual mission updates, and also with the heists to keep us busy. And there's been a bit of extra stuff to spend your in-game currency on. like a couple of cars in each time. There's been like the heist pack and or is it the beach bum pack or wherever they are, I can't remember. But to actually have one that's just going to have lots of crap in it, you know, I can't wait. I'm going to buy all the clothes, you know, our weekly outfit change, you know.
Ash picks me up from my GTA apartment. We drive down to the local pants store, celebrate the completion of however many missions we've just done each week by buying some new clothes.
Designing our new attire.
Yep, they're vaguely matching. We start at the top or the bottom, work our way up or down, piece by piece, and we're always looking
like
very fresh.
We are quite G-fresh at the moment. We went gangsterific, didn't we?
Yeah.
Not
You're
Italian
looking very
mafia gangster, like the ballers.
Very New Jersey.
we killed a lot of ballers yesterday, didn't we, actually, when we played?
They had it coming, mate.
They did, you know. Did. I do like the fact that we just don't get a wanted like style when we do missions as well. You can just go crazy killing people. It don't matter.
You can go buck wild on that, and the police aren't interested.
They don't care. It's fine. But yeah, very excited about new stuff. I'm already saving up for the cars.
Yeah, there's a new sports car that looks very tasty.
It's going to be like 1 million, blatantly. Always is.
I think it needed it, to be honest. You know, you chuck the heists in and the sort of money that people earn from the heists.
And spent.
Immediately. It needed some new gear in there.
Yeah.
Go on, Rockstar. Just keep giving us more
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
You
fucking
legends.
ace. I will keep playing.
Indeed. We'll probably do that after this. Next story, XCOM 2 is coming in November. I don't think either of us are fans of XCOM.
I played XCOM, is it the Bureau? For quite a bit.
That's a different game, that.
Is it? Oh, well, there you go.
That was a first-person shooter, I think,
Yeah,
the Bureau.
I found that more fun.
You liked that? I think we both got this on a Humble Bundle, the first XCOM. Not the first XCOM, the reboot.
The reboot. We played a couple of multiplayer games of it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We couldn't get into it, to be honest. A lot of people really love that game, though, and the trailer is very impressive looking. More of the same, but lots of improvements. That's coming this November. It's quite sudden. It wasn't even announced, this game, at all. And then suddenly we hit June. They say it's coming out, and it's coming out in, like 4 months. Fair enough.
I kind of like
beautiful
that.
stuff. Yeah, much preferred. Codemasters kind of tend to do the same.
Yeah.
It's the way forward, and it's ridiculous, really, because you get these companies building up mass hype and mass hysteria for years and years and years. Very, very rare that their games aren't then a disappointment when they finally come out because they've overhyped them.
Yeah, what game am I thinking of now that's just a couple of weeks ago kind of did that, and it just reminded me immediately of Watch Dogs. I can't remember, some open world game did that, and I was just like, oh god, here we go again.
Yeah, fucking Division, mate.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a Ubisoft game though. It was something else. I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
some kind of yeah, I know, right? Shocker. Yeah, some kind of like pre-launch whatever trailer, and I was just like, oh no, it's not going to look like that at all when it's released. Oh well, these things happen. They just can't keep it in their pants, buddy.
It's true. They got to windmill it about, and they suffer for it in the end.
Indeed. Yeah.
Next, there's going to be new PS4s. 2 new models coming. A 500 gig one with new components, in inverted commas, and a 1 terabyte model.
Is the new component or different component a terabyte hard drive instead of a 500 gig hard drive?
I do not think so, or there would only be 1 model announced rather than 2.
Okay.
So there's a 500 gig one with different components. I don't know what that means. I'm almost 100% certain that that doesn't mean some sort of upgrade. There's no way that they would do that. The console's doing really well. It doesn't need it.
No.
They wouldn't spend the money on doing so. The first thing that sprang to mind was the Wi-Fi. I'm not very good with the technical aspect, but what's the gigahertz thingy? The like 50 and the... I can't remember what it's called now.
2.4 and the 5.4, is it? 2.6 is G.
We'll go with that. Either way,
N is 5.4, I believe.
The PS4 doesn't have the better one of those, and
which is
maybe
N.
that's gonna, maybe that'll be the new component. I don't know. Maybe that'll be it. The Wi-Fi on that PlayStation console is absolutely fucking atrocious.
Yes.
To the point where it sits directly below my wireless router, and obviously I've got it plugged in via a cable. When I have it running wirelessly, I get under 10 of my 50 meg connection. When it's plugged in, I get between 45 and 50 at all times.
Yeah.
It's maybe 10 inches from the router.
It's stupid, isn't it? It's shocking how bad it is.
I got the PlayStation delivered back in, what was it, like December 2013, and I set it up on the big TV downstairs. And the first thing, obviously, that you had to do was install a day one patch, a firmware patch. And the PlayStation popped up and told me it would take, I think it was 49 hours to download this patch. I brought it upstairs, plugged it in, and started it up again, and it was done in, I think it said 64 seconds. That was the difference.
Nice. Yeah, it's just
so
shocking.
yeah, maybe that's the component. And the terabyte thing, I think everyone knows you can switch out the hard drive pretty easily. This is obviously just because they know that things are going very much online at the moment, and they're going to want to sell to newbies double the capacity. I mean, a terabyte minimum.
You remember the 360, it started off at a 20 gig hard drive, and then 60, then 120, and then 250 maybe?
Yeah, it was... Yeah, it did. Same on the PS3. They had the different models, didn't they?
It always goes up, doesn't it? It's just moving with the times, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think they'll announce that at E3. They haven't officially announced it at this point, but we know it's happening. So yeah, anyway. Finally, this happened today being Wednesday. Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is officially announced. Everyone knew that this was happening. The moment that Bethesda penciled in an E3 conference for the first time in their history, everyone knew that Fallout 4 was coming.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be another Elder Scrolls game, was it?
No. So Fallout 4 announced for Xbox One, PS4, PC. It was announced yesterday for us, that's last Tuesday, and then the following day we received a trailer, and the trailer is all gameplay footage, which is very fantastic. Rare these days. Have you watched this?
Yeah, it's colourful, which is
very
amazing
colourful.
For a Fallout
game. It feels
game.
Like they've maybe addressed the lack of colour in the previous Fallout games.
Yeah, like... It looks really nice. Like, there's a few bits where I was like, not too sure. It looked like it was a bit disjointed. Like, say, like the character did look like he was in the world or something like that. But apart from that, yeah, really cool. It's got all the classic Fallout stuff in there. Like, was it Vault 111 and stuff like that? Why has it got a bloody dog though?
Don't know. It's beautifully put together, the trailer. Looks really nice. The style of it and everything. I thought that I found the graphics somewhat underwhelming personally from the trailer. As you say, like, it may be a little early, and the fact that they've used an in-game engine for their entire trailer should be commended, and I wouldn't start bashing them for it not looking slick and nice. But I didn't think it looked I knew that it would have to be running in a new engine. There's no way that they could keep using the old Skyrim engine. It didn't look as gorgeous as I was expecting, if I'm completely honest.
The thing is, I think we've got to take into account on like how large this game is going to be. The size of it as well.
The old MMO argument with graphics.
Yes. And also, they don't want to go down the route of like Watch Dogs and that lot. Whereas and also The Witcher 3 in recent terms. Showing off this wonderful, beautiful, high-res, super HD 4K, blah-de-da video, and then like months down the line when the game comes out, it's like, well, that looks nothing fucking like that. What are you doing?
I mean, imagine if this looked better when it came out. Because that's how it should work.
That's the plan.
It should look better when it comes out. It shouldn't look worse, it should look better. Yeah. But developers, as a general rule, will dress things up better than they can actually achieve, and then they'll bottle it.
Yeah.
They won't be able to pull it off. I don't know. It's too early to judge. There wasn't enough footage there. It's early doors. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic because it's a Bethesda open world game, and I've loved every one of those I've ever played. I wasn't absolutely blown away by the graphics, and it's been so long since Fallout 3 and a fair old whack of time since Skyrim, and I was expecting to be really floored by what I was seeing, but I wasn't. Having said that, I mean, maybe the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One aren't capable of the sort of graphics that would blow my mind. So
maybe
it's kind of fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
Either way, it's hugely exciting that it's coming out. I think we all played the ever-loving shit out of Fallout 3. What a wonderful game.
Did you ever play New Vegas?
I had a little go of it. I had a lot of problems with bugs and stuff, if I'm honest.
What did you play it on, PC?
Put me off. No, 360.
How was it? I played it on PS3, I think, and mine seemed to be fine on that.
Maybe it was one of those rare games where the PlayStation 1 was more optimised than the Microsoft one.
Yeah. Oh well.
Don't know.
Still not sure about that dog, mate. Dogs in games.
No. Not impressed.
No.
Either way, not much to say about it. You've probably seen the trailer. If you're listening to this podcast, then you've watched that trailer.
Yes.
We're very excited, and we'll bring you more when we know anything. But at this point, we don't. And that is the end of the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
Out This Week.
I thought you were going to go into the Rainbow Six theme tune, the Vegas one.
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
Out this week, out this weekend, out this week, out
like
this
it.
week. The Elder Scrolls Online. Out this week, out this week, out this week, out this week.
Fucking bubblegum camo, buddy.
Oh man, I wish they'd add that to the now beta so that we can have a go of it again.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Special. Out this week, The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited.
Yeah.
It's out on Xbox One and PS4. That's coming out on the 9th. What do you think of that, Ash?
Yeah.
You still going to get it? You said you were going to get it.
I'm not going to get it. I'll get it when it's like £10.
You sure you're not going to get it? Because I remember we were talking last night and you were like, I really want to buy another game. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really want to buy another game. Yeah. And I was thinking, fucking Elder Scrolls Online's out next week, mate. Maybe you should want to get that.
You didn't say that, though. You know, I might have gone for it.
I didn't want to encourage you. I'm your friend. I don't want you to just waste money.
That's true. It would be a waste of money.
I would literally rather you took your 50 quid, converted it to yen, so that you got a lot of notes,
got a lot of notes.
and then fashioned a small hearth in your garden, and threw all of the money onto the hearth and had a little fire. Maybe toasted some marshmallows. I think that'd be better.
Okay.
I think that'd be better than the Elder Scrolls Online, mate.
I like it. It's probably a good idea. Might get more enjoyment out of it. I mean, the marshmallows will be pretty tasty. So, yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I'll do that then.
You certainly wouldn't have any problems with instancing if you were to do that.
That's true.
And I mean, your only fetch quest would be the marshmallows.
Yeah, that's true. And that is IRL as well, buddy. You know.
That's true.
I could order them for delivery, though, I guess.
Fuck Elder Scrolls Online. Next, Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy is coming out on the Vita. It is a Japanese dungeon crawler game coming out on the Vita. It's a new game. It's coming out on the Vita. New game, Vita.
I'm just confused by this.
Next, Kholat, Kholat, is coming out on the PC on the 10th of June. It has made it successfully through the Steam Greenlight program, and it is a survival horror game from a Polish developer set out in the wilderness. And I don't know hardly anything about this other than a short video that I've watched, but it looks gorgeous, and it might be good. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Lego Jurassic World is coming out on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 and Wii U. Are you interested in that? You're a Lego boy. You love a bit of Lego.
Yeah, mate. I'll get it when it goes down to £10. Definitely.
Oh, hang on. It's out on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Wii U, Wii, 3DS, Vita and PC. I missed the second line.
Well played. That's good reporting.
It's out on everything.
It's out on everything. That sounds good to me.
You seen anything about Jurassic World? Trailers or anything?
Nah, mate. It's got that guy in it who's in other films.
Guardians of the Galaxy bloke.
Yeah, old space kid.
Chris.
His name was.
Is it Chris Pratt?
Yes.
I'm going to go with that. It's Chris Pratt.
Okay.
I kind of want to see it because it's Jurassic Park and it's Chris Pratt. But at the same time, I've seen the trailer. I'm one of the unfortunate people who's seen the trailer. And that film looks wank. So... That's not
like
great, is it? It looks really shit.
Yeah, that's I can't comment on that.
It can't be worse than Jurassic Park 3.
Who knows?
That was a bad film.
I thought there was only one Jurassic Park film, mate. So I'm out.
You got some funny ideas.
That will happen.
Looks bollocks, but in a fun way. So I might go and see it.
Yeah, it's Lego, mate. It's always fun. Be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I reckon that game will be like all the other Lego games, but Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic World.
Yeah. Poor showing this week from Out This Week.
It's going to be like that for a while.
I think so. I think there tends to be a bit of a lull around the sort of E3 period. We are moving into that Mojave wilderness, aren't we? Where nothing comes out for about 3 months, and we find out which game is the game that has the highest form of Dead Island syndrome that we've spoken about before. I don't know what it'll be this year. But I don't
know. I think we should
excited.
pick one each and have like a countdown timer as well for it. You know.
Okay, I reckon that seems like a good shout. We'll start that from next week.
Yeah.
We've got
I
our
like
Dead
the fact
Island
that
syndrome.
the countdown timer is going to make no sense because we're going to be like on Tuesday and other people will listen to this whenever. Like,
yeah, but we won't mention that fact. We'll just act as though it's real time.
Yeah, real time.
That sounds like a good plan. So that is out this week. you have a question for us here at the Justice for Gamers podcast? Every week we'll be ending the show with questions and comments sent in by you. Pop us a message on one of our social media sites or send an email to contact@justiceforgamers.com and we'll do our best to sort you out. And now it's time for questions and answers. Now, you would have thought with a week's gap that we'd be inundated with questions, but that is not the case.
No, all we have is answers.
we forgot to get any questions.
Yes. I believe that is true.
Anyway, question 1 is from everybody's favourite sponsor of the podcast and procurer of VIP tickets to see Fleetwood Mac, PJ, who asks us, what achievement or trophy are you most proud of? He says probably finding all the pigeons on GTA 4 or the Mile High Club achievement on Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I never got that.
That was super tough. I remember that one. That was the really quick one on the plane, wasn't it? Where you had like 35 seconds or something.
Or whatever it was to sprint through it all. It's ridiculous.
GTA 1 speaks for itself,
Yeah.
really. Is there one that you're like super, super proud of?
No, the only thing that I can remember is when I had my 360 and I got the gamer score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12,345, and I took a picture. I was playing Open Season at the time. Yeah.
That deer hunting game.
No, it's like the cartoon film or the animated film Open Season. It's terribly shit, and I got all 1,000 G's on it, mate. I went through them all like that. Surfs Up, all the shit ones. But yeah, on that game, I remember it was like probably about like midnight or 1 in the morning. My girlfriend, which is actually my wife now, was asleep in the bed next to me, and I was playing it with my headphones on. And I got the gamer score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I took a picture of it. Yeah, because I was like, that's awesome.
That is special.
I know, right? Never gonna get that again. I don't even know what my gamer score is now after, like, I can't remember what I got up to.
No, I don't really look at the total because I was 360 for so long, so it just kind of feels unimportant. I think I'm like a rank 11 or something like that.
Oh, no, I mean, like,
PS4.
on the 360, I can't remember what I got up to at all.
Oh, you were on like 40,000 or something by
Was
the
it?
end of it. I think so.
I think I worked it out as an average of like 10,000 a year or something like that I was getting. Or maybe just over.
Which is pretty dedicated.
Yeah, it was alright. What about you, buddy? Did you have any memorable trophy / Akimos?
I'm trying to think of achievement-wise. I don't think there were many games that I completed. The one that I always wanted to, but I never actually succeeded in doing so, was Project Gotham 4. I got all but one.
I remember this.
Mate,
really so
every
good.
chuckle is like a slap in the face.
I know, right? Because you're so much better than me.
It was so hard, that game, to get your maximum gamer score on there. Basically, there was one achievement that I couldn't get. I can't even remember what it was now. I know that shortly afterwards they released a DLC pack, which I bought, and that had another gamer score as well. And I could do all but one of those achievements as well.
Yep.
So
it
I
was
think
the super hardest difficulty, like, and there was like a certain track or something, and there was just one track and you just couldn't do it.
it was a track you had to go around in the I think it was like a Caterham, like an R500 Caterham, and you had to go around the track, and you had to go around in a specific amount of time, but you also had to earn a certain amount of kudos.
Kudos, that was it, yeah.
Kudos points. So you had to do 3 laps of this small track in Vegas, and you had to get like 85,000 kudos per lap or something, and I was always about 20,000 kudos short. I must have tried to do that 100 times, literally 100 times. I never did complete that. That was when achievements really fucking meant something back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
The one that I'm most proud of on the PlayStation, and I don't think that the actual word is proud. I'm not sure that I'm proud of this. If anything, I feel a little bit dirty and a little bit as though perhaps I should have maybe just gone for a walk. Perhaps in the woods. In the sunshine. But no, Rayman Legends. The Platinum Trophy on Rayman Legends involves you... you have to reach a certain... I think it's like 6,000 or something like that score. I think I've spoken about it on the podcast before, but basically when you complete the game you end up on like 4,600 or something like that, and to get those remaining like 1,400 points you have to do daily challenges, and each challenge is, if you do well on it, is worth 25 to 50 points. So to get that Platinum Trophy, I had to load up and play for about 20-25 minutes every day Rayman Legends for about, I think it was about 15 weeks. It was like a 3-month period where I played that game every day. I literally worked Rayman Legends into my daily routine.
Nice.
of things to do. And that was a very, very sweet moment when that trophy dinged and I got that platinum. That's
done.
And it's like 0.1 is the percentage of people who've got that platinum. I think when it ticked over on the overall leaderboards, I was in the sort of top 100 in the world, something like that. Presumably I've dropped down a little while now, but
nice.
That would be the one for me.
Nice.
But I wouldn't say proud.
And after after listening to yours, I've got 2 games that I was proud of. And I would say proud. One was Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, getting every single achievement on that, including the DLC. That took a lot of time and effort, and really enjoyed it. And the other one was the original Trials, getting all the Akimons on that, like even like the Marathon Man one, which was like you had to do like the extreme tournament or whatever it is without any faults. And
that's something.
Smashed that. I remember that. That was awesome.
I mean, that one is like an upper echelon thing, isn't it? I mean, my one, anyone could have got that Rayman trophy had they just persisted for long enough. Whereas that Trials Platinum, I firmly believe I could never get that. Like, there was a sort of level of talent there that you have for those Trials games. That's a real, like, Platinum trophy stroke 1,000% gamer score. That is a different, otherworldly thing. That most people just literally couldn't do it. Whereas my one, you could if you went on for long enough. Next question. This is from Bob. And he says, you never shut up about racing games. Are you going to get a steering wheel? We've talked about this before, haven't we? Privately,
yeah, definitely.
Not on the podcast.
Yeah. I would like one. I think if I do end up getting one, it would be like an elaborate present, like a birthday or Christmas gift. I don't think I'd go out and buy one myself. But
it's the sort of thing you can't justify buying with your own money. Like, you need someone to buy it for you.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a massive virtual racing enthusiast.
Yeah.
I think Bob actually has a friend who has built themselves literally like a cockpit,
Nice.
like with a proper wheel and like the 3 screens and maybe the rear view screen and everything. My biggest concern is that the time that I enjoy racing on my PlayStation the most is with my friends when we're doing, on like Friday night game night or whatever. And I would be a little bit concerned that I was giving myself an advantage there. I've noticed a lot of the best times on the Project Cars leaderboards, especially, are people, it actually tells you whether they used a steering wheel or a gamepad, and a lot of them inevitably a steering wheel. The idea that we'd be playing on a game night and my steering wheel would be giving me an advantage would probably make me not use it, and so that'd be a bit disappointing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a bit pointless having one then, really. The
Exactly.
main time that you play the game and you
out.
don't want to use it, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of our friends aren't big sort of massive racing enthusiasts. They're not going to go and, chuck 100, 200 quid at a peripheral like that they didn't really need.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one. I'm not sure how much I would use it.
That's the issue, isn't it? Definitely.
I think so. I mean, with the F1 game coming out, we're going to have 2 really good simulations before the end of the year. I suppose it depends. But come Christmas, there's every chance that I might have that on my Christmas list. Maybe Santa will get it for me. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
It's the Thrustmaster ones are the kind of the Mac Daddy, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah, they seem pretty decent. You want one with force feedback and stuff like that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise it's pointless.
Definitely. Would you do you want? I suppose you want pedals and everything. A flappy paddle gearbox. I guess that's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what you want, mate. Not like the whole hog of like the racing setup, but you want a decent one where you can have a bit of variety of stuff you can do.
And finally, we have a question from Johnny Briggs.
The Johnny Briggs.
And he asks, with women now on FIFA, what other sports games should women be in? For the record, he's put women in inverted commas on both occasions. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's derogatory or if he doesn't believe women are real. Either way, does anything spring to mind for you? I mean, it kind of comes down to what other sports.
Well, they're in golf games, aren't they, already?
They are in golf games, yeah, which is funny considering what golf stands for.
Yes, it makes no sense.
Indeed.
I don't know. I don't see why they can't be in other games. I mean, rugby. I mean, that's a cracking game, rugby 15,
I mean, for me, it comes down to what other sports prominently feature women, like in terms of televised. Like women's football is televised on many, many channels all over the world, and it was long overdue, if you ask me, that women's football should be included in FIFA. I think it's great that they've done that. I do wonder what Konami will do. I suspect nothing based on
probably nothing.
Probably nothing. Maybe they're just I don't know. They sacrifice the women in favour of more servers. That would do me. But women's cricket, that's quite popular.
Yeah,
that's televised. So, but there aren't that many. I mean, presumably there's an Ashes game on the way, seeing as the Ashes starts next month.
But yeah, they just need to be included. It comes back to our point earlier that we spoke about. They just need to be included into more games. I mean, like, what year is this now? Like, I don't know. Who cares?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's long overdue, but it's been such a male-dominated industry, the gaming industry, for such a long time, that it's just taking a very long time for things to move forward.
Change, move forward. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's strange, but yeah, it's definitely a good thing, and I don't see, equality and all. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think that it would be nice if you could play the women's teams versus the men's teams. I don't know why that wouldn't be something you could do. Just out of comedy and interest, and why not? Why shouldn't you be able to? Why shouldn't some women who are having a gaming night together maybe want to take the England women's football team through a World Cup tournament with the men's teams and win the World Cup? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? We'd be up for doing that.
Like in virtual tennis, can you play the females against the males in that and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Makes no difference, does it?
Strange one, but...
complain to FIFA right now, or EA Sports. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, where you can't really... It's cool that the EA are doing it, but you kind of just can't believe that no one's done it already in anything else.
Yeah, I know. Strange, isn't it?
But it's cool, and yeah, like it. And I hope that Konami follow suit. I think they should do. They should do the same.
Do it.
So I think that's about it for the Justice for Gamers podcast, episode 13. Have you had a nice time, Ash? You're back off your holiday. You're feeling very laid back. Have you enjoyed this evening?
I think I'm a bit jet lagged. You know, going through no time zone changes.
How long was your flight? What, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours, mate, you know.
God, I can't even imagine what you're going through at this point.
I had to go to work today. Oh, wasn't great. Now I'm doing this and I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, he's lost the plot, ladies and gentlemen.
Next week will be better, maybe.
Is that your way of trying to get people to listen next week?
Yeah, tune in.
Tune in.
Listen, tune in, download, watch it. Listen.
I'd like to also state the fact that one of the reasons we recorded a podcast early a couple of weeks ago is because I was going on to a radio station to play some music, to play some songs. That's happening literally as we speak right now, me and Ash. I'm not listening to myself on the radio because I'm recording a podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a good one. We've dealt with some issues in the gaming industry.
Indeed.
We've talked about rubbish games and good games.
True.
You know, it's been good. It's been
what do you want to play now? Now we're done.
Probably a bit of GTA again.
Yeah, I'm up for some GTA. Okay, that'll do us then.
Cool.
Thanks very much for listening. We are Justice for Gamers. You can find us at www.justiceforgamers.com, Facebook/Justice for Gamers. Twitter, we are at Justice for Gamer. We're also on YouTube, but we've got a selection of numbers and letters because we only have 8 subscribers. That will change one day, and we will let you know when that happens. Is it 9 now?
It's 9.
We got a new one.
Yeah, we get one more double figures, buddy. Then we get the money.
Yeah, that's it. That's when that's when the Benjamins roll in. We're also on Google Plus if that's how you choose to live your life. My neighbour's dog is barking again, which may or may not be picked up on the microphone right now. But either way, thanks very much for listening, and we will catch you next week. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Justice for Gamers podcast with Ash and me, Alex. We release this every Sunday night so you can preload it for the week ahead. To find out more, head to justiceforgamers.com, Facebook/Justice for Gamers, or Twitter at Justice for Gamer. If you have anything interesting to say, pop an email to contact@justiceforgamers.com, and if you could write us a review on iTunes, we'd be forever in your debt. Have a cracking week, and we'll catch you next time.